Hey, what's good, people? How y'all feeling tonight? This is Psych, Spiritual Intuition, Cause and Elevation. Back at you tonight, man. Just talking about topic tonight is relying on yourself. In this world, man, we go through a lot, man. And I could tell you, man, like, and I'm just going right now through personal experience in terms of what we have to deal with, in terms of all the demands on our life, in terms of what we got to do. And it's really not a big deal. It's like you have to learn to rely on yourself more than anybody else. What do I mean? Okay, in terms of self-reliance, say you're at work, something you have to do. Straight up, just being honest with yourself, people are incompetent, they're unreliable. So, you have to keep following up with phone calls. Even after that, you have to go behind them to find out what needs to be done. And in terms of like you building yourself, it's the same thing. You have to make sure that, in terms of like if you're in charge, you make sure you take it upon yourself to learn what it is that needs to be learned so you can show it to the other people that are coming behind you. And it used to get me mad and it used to get me upset in terms of like things that I have to do. And like I would think like a lot of other people, once you reach a certain point that, you would be able to have somebody else do what it is that you do. But lo and behold, you have to be able to find somebody that had maybe some personality traits that you had. Maybe they had some spiritual traits that you had to know that they're going to be able to do it. But lo and behold, man, since COVID hit, nobody really wants to do the work. Nobody's really motivated to do certain things. And then you sit and look, I will sit and look back like, I worked so hard for so long, but the hard work doesn't stop. And once you get used to doing it, it just puts another arsenal on your back. Because I can tell you straight up, when you can do things and make them look easy, everybody wants to do them. And when they get on board to see what it is that they have to do, they don't want no parts in it. I didn't know it was this hard. And I could say it to myself, man, in terms of like, I had got a second job cleaning at a school. But like when you look at it, you look at dudes mopping, sweeping, dust mopping, wiping stuff down, using toilet brushes. This can't be that hard. Lo and behold, I could tell you, man, it is really hard, man, in terms of cleaning. How I've been cleaning, it's hard, man, and it doesn't get any easier. In terms of whatever you do, discipline, focus, organization, structure, it matters a lot. And when you can see somebody like doing whatever it is they're doing with ease, believe you me, it took them years upon years to find the routine or to find the structure or the organization to get them to where they're at. So don't take things for granted, man. Like we always see people and like we look at them and we say, I could do what they do or whatever. But like, lo and behold, man, I can tell you a lot of times, man, you wouldn't be able to walk even like an hour or two in their shoes because you don't know it's so much that a job entails. And in terms of like, being a cleaner in the schools of NYC, it's a lot that you have to do. But we get things twisted because in our minds, we paint pictures that aren't actually reality. And we live inside our own reality. And the thing that I want you to understand today is, don't get it twisted. Like everything is hard. It's hard to stay disciplined, to stay on a diet. It's hard to every day to like eat fries and fast food. It's hard. You know, it's hard to do it, but in the same time, it's simple. It's simple to like make up your mind to do something and stick with it. The same way, it's simple to drift off into something that isn't going to benefit you. And like we get a lot of things misconstrued in terms of like what we see, what other people have, you know. C Rock, Candace, my homie, yo, she's endured a lot, man. She's been through a lot, and I have to, have to applaud her. Like I knew this young lady. She was one of my students when I was just a group leader in the program, but through everything she endured and she did what she had to do, and like right now, she's living good, man. And like I often look back, like sometimes we want to like say, well, they got this because of this, or they got this. No, long story short, she made up her mind what she needed to do. She focused on it. She went and got those 3 master's degrees. She did what she had to do. She did what she had to do. And we have to do what we have to do. A lot of times we want to think or try to like snub people from what it is that they accomplish because we don't have the discipline, the focus, and desire to do what we need to do. And we got to stop that, man. We really have to stop it because, lo and behold, nobody's holding you back except yourself. If you really want something and you create the desire that's strong enough, you can get it. But too many times we sit back and we look at what other people want to God, and it's only because of this and it's only because of that. And when I hear it, it sickens me to my stomach. It only sickens me because, once you start walking the path and you stay on it, it's not easy. Life isn't easy. But a lot of times we want to make it think like to make ourselves feel good or to say whatever. Only got this because of this or because of that. And one of the things is, man, to get a job, you could get on any way that you can. Like to get a job, like to maybe be security, to get a job, to clean out of school. Well, back in the days, it used to be easy. You could get on. But once you get on, it's only what you do is going to keep you on. So like when I hear people like talk nonsense and say this, that, and the third, man, I wouldn't say it only like lets me know like ignorance is not bliss. It's not bliss at all. It's not bliss because people think, you get to keep what it is that you work for because of who you know. And that's not true, man. It's not true. I don't care who you know, who your hookups are. If you messing up on doing certain things constantly, nobody's going to want to keep you. And life is hard, man. It's hard. It's hard. Anything nowadays is hard. Especially when you're coming from nothing. It's hard to get a job at McDonald's and keep it. The standards is going up. It's hard to get a job as a cleaner and keep it. Standards have gone up. COVID has hit. Everything is going up, man. And like everybody's in full sense of reality. A lot of people sat back and collected unemployment and they got extra money on top of it. And people actually don't want to go back to work. But on the flip side of that, I take my hat off, even though I don't have one, and I applaud you guys that like, you saw the silver lining in the cloud and you said, you know what? I'm going to use this time. I'm going to get this cyber security certificate. I'm going to do this. I'm going to learn this. I'm going to educate myself so I don't have to do, servant jobs. I don't have to do jobs where I'm looking after other people's kids. I don't have to do this. And I take my hat off to you. And that's what it's all about, man. Like in every adversity, there lies opportunity. But it's how you think about it and see what it is. And a lot of times we are so conditioned to think negatively. If it's time for us to think positively on our own, we can't do it. And we have to learn to do that, man. We really do as a people, man. And I tell you all the time I fight with it, man. Like, but I'm slowly but surely starting to get it, man. Like, you've been in a relationship, it broke off, you thought you were gonna be together to get forever. it didn't last. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to swallow. You lose a loved one, you know what I'm saying, unexpectedly. You love that person unconditionally. You know what? It's hard to get over that. But life keeps going. And at the end of the day, you can't have any excuses for you not to do what it is that you need to do. So I tell you, especially all my colored people, man, yo, you have to make sure that you get the batteries in your back to do it. You know, I told you I recently lost my mom's. You know, the love and the guidance is still with me. But like, do I miss her? Yeah. But can I use that as an excuse not to provide for my kids? No, I cannot. Can I, say that life isn't fair when I know I got people depending on me? And like sometimes I fight. I have to fight to get out of the bed, to fight to do what it is that needs to be done. Things that were second nature to me now are so hard, but I fight through it. I pray to God, just to give me the strength, the courage, the wisdom, to deal with what I have to deal with. I don't want it to get easier. I just want to be able to face up to it like a man, like I'm supposed to, right? Because how am I going to tell anybody that, you need to do this, you need to do that, but I'm not doing it myself. I'm just being a hypocrite. So in terms of like life and where it throws you, man, if you got the right attitude, Spank, like I said to you, brother, if you got the right attitude, man, and you see it for what it is, it's temporary. It's not to hold you down or to keep you in a place. It's there to give you a lesson in life so you can build and keep moving forward. And that's to everybody out there. A lot of times we get stuck in certain circumstances, and anything that we're going through life is not to keep us there. It's something that passes in time. And sometimes we don't understand that and we don't get it. This life is temporary. This life is temporary, but the soul is eternal. You have to understand that, man. We all are eternal, but the experiences we go through, they're not to hold us back, to make us slack off. They're there to teach us, to guide us, to push us through seeing what it is in the future or what's eternally there for us, man. So don't get caught up in it, man. Like, people are going to do you wrong. The people you do the most for aren't going to do anything for you in return. People are going to lie. People are going to cheat. People are going to steal from you. And it's always going to be the people that you provided the most for. So you have to understand this is how life is, man. Like, not everybody is blessed as you to know true love. Not everybody is blessed as you to know what dedication, faith, determination, hard work, progress produces. But you are, you're of an elite few. I used to always wonder, like, if it was something wrong with me. Because people would tell me, "Oh, nah, you're not supposed to go through that." But like, with life and all it has to offer, I actually felt that, like, what life is throwing at me, I need to at least try to hit it head on in terms of like going to run for help. And most people would say, like, when I would talk to them about the problems, they would just try to get me to bail out. And that's not who I am. Thank God to my moms and my pops, I was made a warrior. I'm going to deal with what I got to deal with. And then when I can't take no more, best believe, if I need help, I'm coming to you. Please have my back when I need it. But I need to try to face what it is that's coming at me head on. I'm not running away from it. I ain't no punk. I was born in Fayetteville, North Carolina, but I was raised in Bed-Stuy, do or die. So I'm not soft by any means, but like, what we're producing today, it makes people soft. And I even find myself telling my son sometimes, man, try. When you come to me, tell me what you've done so I could see what it is you've done so we could go back and correct it. If it's from reading, writing, what you don't understand at least if I'm seeing that you're trying, I'm more apt to understand where you're at and what's not working. But a lot of times we just want to take our problems and dump them onto people, and then we're giving away our power, in terms of like what it is that we need to be doing. And God blesses us, man. Like I know firsthand, like he blesses us all the time, and sometimes we're not paying attention, but he is, man. Like in terms of my kids and the things that they say and how they feel about me, I am truly blessed. A cycle that has been perpetuated for like probably like I don't even know how long it goes back, man. But like you could think about it, like if you're a person like me, it's been a while since like Spank, Chris, Tim, and it's a good thing right now. We don't want to overlook it. We as black men are actually taking accountability for our children and making sure that we care for them and do what we need to do for them. In the past, it's been like, don't get me wrong, because the fathers have been providers and they gave us what we needed, but in terms of finances, but the father wasn't really there and that connection was lost. But now, I see more and more so over. Like I walk around and I see people of my color, they chilling with their sons, their daughters, holding their hands, walking with them. And like I work in youth development and I'm seeing the increase of fathers coming to pick up their kids. And I'm like, yo, I'm happy, man. I'm happy. And it just goes to show your perspective, how you look at things, how you see it. It says a lot, because in our minds, we already, from the youthful experiences that we have, we already put together how life is supposed to be, and we don't know how it's supposed to be. Reality is reality, but sometimes we live in our own reality that we created in our heads, and we have to get out of that. I don't know exactly what I'm going to call this, but I'm going to sit and listen to it, man, because it actually helped me out with a lot of things. So like I said, this has been Psych, Spiritual Intuition, Cause and Elevation. Just thanking you guys for joining in with me. And wow, dang, the mind is getting good. How we doing on the Psych Challenge, man? The Spiritual Intuition, Cause and Elevation Challenge. I'm good. I've been fasting consistently. I haven't had any carbs. I'm getting up early in the morning. I haven't getting up at the exact time, but I'm getting up, doing my exercise, getting my bike riding, focusing on my goals, trying to do what it is that I need to do, man. And I hope you're doing it too, man. And like the thing that we need to do is to try to make sure that we're sacrificing for the greater good, sacrificing for God, sacrificing to put a plan together, maybe to put our kids through school, sacrificing to make sure that if something happens to us, that our children are okay. When you come from hard times, sometimes it's hard to get a grip and think that and to know that your life is your life. You come from a environment, you come from a upbringing that is so strong that it makes you forget that you are in control. God has given you control, right? So you have to put those things into perspective, put those things down on paper, talk to your children about finances, talk to them about spirituality, talk to them about health, talk to them about why it is that you do the things that you do. As growing up with mom, we had to fast at times, but looking back, that was a blessing, man, because we weren't eating all the time. And you see obesity is rising high within the US. So in terms of the things that moms had us practice, we had to cleanse in terms of taking liquid that would cleanse our bowels out. You know what I'm saying? And we don't do that anymore. And those things, they preserve us. They keep us here longest. They keep us physically, mentally, and spiritually intact. And we fall away from them. So we have to make sure, if we were brought up the right way, We got to make sure that we see our kids do it too. And sometimes we just want to give them what they want, but we can't do that. We have to be, we have to educate them and show them how to live life correctly, right? So with the psych challenge, man, I hope that you guys are sticking towards it. I hope that, it's bringing something to you, because in terms of like, the only way I've gained anything is when I sacrifice to God. I sacrifice a lot of things, a lot of bad habits. And like, I'm human. Sometimes they creep back up on me, but I've given it to God. And like I don't know if I told you guys before, I thought I told you, but one of the greatest gifts my mom's bestowed upon me was to cry out to God. Because when you truly cry out to God in terms of like what it is that you're going through, God will take it away from you. And he will make sure that you're good, because God knows your heart. He sees if it's pure or not. And we could fool people, with our emotions, our actions, or whatever, but we can't fool the Creator. All of us are connected to the Most High, because he just knows, man. Like, we're a lower level of intelligence that comes from a higher being of intelligence. So you could think whatever it is you want to think, whatever you want to believe, but like, you can get over on people, but you can't get over on God, right? So, I hope the psych challenge is blessing you, getting you back into perspective, getting you to take control of your life, because that's what it's aimed for, man. Like, leave that social media alone, leave the TV alone, and just do what it is you have to do for yourself, for your family, to make you feel better, because nobody else is going to do it with you. And I don't think I gave it up to my man Sha Stimuli, that DJ Victorious introduced me to. He was one of my kids. But change starts with a C, but it begins with you. So God bless you, and we'll talk later. Peace.